All right, who of you use steam rooms or hot saunas? If so, why? If not, why not? I didn't learn about steam rooms and saunas until my first tour into the Middle East. And man, once I started, I never stopped. That was 2010 in Afghanistan. And it's an amazing treatment to give your body. What it does is raises your body temperature, makes your pores open way up, and then it cleans you out. Not that way, but cleans the toxins out of your system. I'm hoping it'll also take care of these damn chiggers that I keep picking up working. I've sprayed my clothes with bug repellent that's supposed to stay in for like six or 8 washes, like 2 months, and I put off on, but these damn chiggers continue to eat me up. We're gonna start adding garlic to the entire nutrition line. Apparently garlic can help with bug repellent too inside the system. So yeah, so my health and wellness journey, like the military, they teach us to pass the PFA, right, and eat clean, so to speak. And the chow halls, they feed pretty good food, right? What I found though is the sit-ups that we do and the push-ups that we do, it's all bullshit. Like they aren't good exercises for us. It puts strain in certain parts of our body that other types of isometric, I guess, holds would better determine our fitness, right? They had started to put a plank in, I think, could have been a plank at the end of my service time that I did a couple of times, and that's a good, in my opinion, that's a good exercise measurement for health. But a couple of years ago, I was in a vehicle wreck where a deer ran into the side of a F-250 I was driving and damn near killed my daughter. my 11-year-old at the time, 12 now, or maybe she was 10 at the time. Anyway, she's 12 now. But coming out of that a few weeks later, and I was in an RV technician training course at the time. And a couple of months afterwards, whenever I was leaving that training, man, my back was hurting. And it took me a year to realize it might have been that vehicle wreck that did it. But I was doing all kinds of stuff, trying to improve strength, going to a chiropractor, going to acupuncture, going to pain medicine and physical therapy that the primary care physician has sent me to initially, right? Pain management first, to get that cash flow going for their fucking meds, pardon my French. And it was at the path to pain management actually came from my aunt, who's a nurse. Love her dearly. She loves me too, but she said I needed to go pursue a facet injection and a rhizotomy right out of the gate. Right, that was her analysis and diagnosis of it based on personal experience and based on her being in the medical community. That was the wrong decision. What I should have done was demand I get x-rays to see if my bones were out of alignment, my hips were out of alignment, see if my spine was out of alignment. Whoa, well that was silly. What I should have done was get x-rays before getting an MRI. And they took an MRI there at the VA clinic, but I don't ever recall getting x-rays for this. And if they did, they took a very close-up x-ray, not the x-ray that my third chiropractor took a year later, which was of my entire spine and of my entire hips. And once he took that, he's like, well, look, this is one of the worst alignment issues I've ever seen. 3/4 of an inch. My right hip was rotated forward and down, and my left hip was rotated backwards and up, and out of alignment by 3/4 of an inch. No wonder I was in so much pain all the time. It's crazy. Once we identified that being the issue, chiropractor alone wasn't going to ever fix it because the muscles had contracted and gotten to where my brain thought that was the correct position for it to be in, even though my brain was telling me I hurt. So a combination of chiropractor, physical therapy, consistent, steady core strength training, not just the core muscles in the front, the abs, but the lumbar back muscles as well, right? And the lower spine and the upper spine. Now, I've always had weak back muscles. Like, I have hell with pull-ups, and it's because of my back muscles. I'm 100% confident. So that's a big focus of mine, is my back muscles. But the higher priority for me, for longevity and a vibrant, healthy life into my 80s, 90s, even into early 100s, is mobility. And our mobility is huge, and nobody's talking about it. Well, I say nobody, that's an absolute, not really nobody. It's a very, very, very small segment of the marketplace, right, in the health and wellness space. I actually paid for a mobility course that I started using back in February and March. But sure enough, because my spine and my hips weren't healed yet, I wound up inflaming those muscles again based on some exercises I was doing that they were guiding me in that I shouldn't have been doing. And I used ChatGPT to help me understand why that was happening and what was going on. And between a guide, right, somebody that I don't longer have to pay for, I'll use ChatGPT for everything. Or if another AI comes along that's better, I'll use it instead. But I refuse to go to medical personnel anymore, and I'm very hesitant to seek out personal trainers as well, because their knowledge is so limited and they don't ask enough questions. They assume. That's the problem in society today. Everybody assumes way too quick before asking the 5 questions, the 5 whys, right? Or getting an understanding of somebody's position. And that's why I didn't make it in insurance sales, life insurance sales, because I wanted to ask too many questions to understand their complete and total financial picture, stored time picture, to give them the best options based on what I know. And people don't want to hear that crap. And it's not crap. It's super important. But people are impatient. They want a quick fix, immediate solution, and move on to the next crisis. And that's where we're getting caught up. Even my own journey through getting my own life insurance in place, I wasn't asking enough questions. Had I been asked, do you think you're going to get VA disability compensation? I would have said, yeah. Well, they probably would have included that income in my life insurance policy coverage, end quote. And they didn't. So now I'm short, way short. Just one example. But yeah, back to health and wellness. Like, I'll be in the sauna for 30 minutes, drinking my own made up electrolytic drink, water, lemon, and Himalayan salt. And if you guys have other things I could add to that myself, let me know. Because I'm trying to stop buying from the grocery stores and the big box chains and start providing for myself in the off-grid living situation. Because the goal is to sustain myself through very rough times. If the grid goes down, if the power goes out, like, I want to have a place for me to maintain my level of lifestyle and living and comforts, as well as a place for my kids to land if and when they need a place to escape to. Then after that will be my extended family, uncle, parents, extended siblings, my siblings and her husband, and then my other siblings and their husbands. But that's a pretty big operation, and I'm only going to be looking to manage a half acre to an acre, so that I'm an expert at managing a small plot that I can do on my own in my 70s, 80s, and 90s. Even if I wind up buying 30, 50, 100 acres somewhere down in East Texas at some point in the future, I'll downsize from that eventually once it becomes too much to handle. So yeah, just my thoughts on the health and wellness arena on this Health and Wellness Wednesday. Well, Health and Wellness Wednesday means we're halfway to Friday. So I like to call it Friday, because Friday is a fun day. That's the day that I do a pulse check on my finances, Finance Fridays. And then I also do a broader, more strategic look at my finances 3 times a month, on the 10th, the 20th, and then the end of the month, last day of the month. That's just how I do it. How do you do it? I'm interested in knowing how you guys go about scheduling and managing your weeks. Used to, for me, it was get up at 5, be in the office on the ship by 6, get off at 5:30 or 6, and be home by 7, exhausted, nothing left over for the wife and kids, and then go to bed and get up and do it all over again. Sometimes, and on a Saturday, then I would have a duty day, or even a duty week, depending on the platform I was on. The hustle culture, make that rank, promote, right? Because you're gonna get beat out by the other guy or gal if you're not there putting all your time and energy and effort into death and destruction preparations. Screw that. All right, Outcast. These phones typically get hot in these steam rooms and dry saunas. So I'm going to bid y'all a happy health and wellness day. Let me know in the comments, what are y'all doing on Health and Wellness Wednesdays? If nothing, what's your plan for next Wednesday? You got to do something. Better yet, shoot for Sunday, because I'll do this again on Sunday as well. Twice a week at least. All right, so let's stay weird together. To your liberty, the Outcast Commander is out.